3 wins from their last 4 in the Championship sees Sheffield United start the day 6 points clear of their nearest rivals for automatic promotion, and they hold a game in hand. It means the Blades enter the Easter period with their fate very much in their own hands. Relegation-threatened Wigan are today's opponents. Will it be a Good Friday down at Bramall Lane? Well, kickoff is just under an hour away, and for all of the match pass information and broadcasting regulations for today's game, go to the club's official website, sufc.co.uk. Very good afternoon. Welcome inside our studio here in the heart of Bramall Lane, where a capacity crowd will be on hand for the 3 o'clock kickoff against Wigan Athletic in the Championship. And joining me for the ride, I'm delighted to welcome into the studio Blades defender Jack O'Connell and former Sheffield United striker Carla Saba. Good afternoon, chaps.
Good afternoon.
Jack, we started by mentioning 6 points clear at the start of the day, game in hand. 12 months ago, it was Sheffield United doing the chasing. Now the hunter becomes the hunted. You've been around the lads. Is this a more comfortable position?
Yeah, I think so. I think the lads are just focusing on themselves. I think, for me, this was the best weekend to play. The sun's out. You've got it's the business end of the season, and you know it's a big game. But I think the lads will just be focusing on themselves.
Absolutely. 8 games left this season in the Championship for Sheffield United. I know you love a game in hand, Carl. It's all there before us now.
Yeah, the game in hand's always nice just to antagonise our Middlesbrough family. You know, we're doing better than you and we play less. But the boys, the boys have been incredible. The little run they've gone on recently, they've been wonderful as well.
We are keeping an eye on the game involving Luton at Millwall this lunchtime. 75 minutes played there. It is still goalless between those two. Middlesbrough, of course, the other team that are 6 points behind us as we start the day. They play Burnley at home tonight. This could all look very different this time tomorrow.
Yeah, like I say, it's a big game. I think the lads just need to take care of business and just don't focus on the Middlesbrough game, and hopefully, we come away with the 3 points.
And we're told as well that Blades fans have sold out their allocation for today's game. Great weather, as you can see behind us as well. Sun-drenched Bramall Lane. It's going to be a good atmosphere, and we've only played at home once in the last 6 weeks, so everybody desperate to see what Heckie's boys can do.
Yeah, obviously the feel-good factor from the FA Cup win. They get to see the boys at home again after that, and in the meantime, the performances away from home have been brilliant. So it is a good time, and everyone's excited to see what the boys. It's not just the winning; the boys are winning, but they're playing a good style of football. It's to see, when Njai was doing the drag backs and then flick it. But everyone wants to see what's happening because it is a very special time.
Well, let's not hold it back anymore. Let's take a look at the team sheet for today's game. The starting 11 dropped a few moments ago for Sheffield United. I can tell you 2 changes are in that starting 11. The club captain, Billy Sharp, returns with Ollie McBurney dropping down to the bench. Jayden Bogle is included in the starting 11. No place in that 11, or on the bench indeed, for Max Lowe, which gives Sheffield United a bit of a dilemma at left wing back, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a massive blow. I mean, obviously, Lowe's picked up an illness, which is not ideal. I think for me, George will probably play left back, and he's experienced enough to do a job there, and I think he's perfect fit.
11 goals to his name so far this season in the Championship. Surprised to see Ollie McBurney make way?
I am a little bit, but it's exciting that we might get to see Billy get his 250th. So Billy's, when he's been used this season, he's been excellent. When he's come on as sub, he's been excellent, and he looks sharp as ever. So manager's using his squad. But again, I'm happy to see Bogle back in the team because Borders has been incredible. And what a deputy, if he does move over to the left, and to see Bogle attacking down the right, really something to behold.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any surprise to the way Sheffield United set up. We expect them to go 3 at the back as per the norm this afternoon. Take a look at that formation now. 3 in midfield. Again, Ollie Norwood obviously dropped down to the bench last weekend. No surprise, I guess, given the performance, the result, that Paul Heckingbottom has left that midfield 3 unchanged, Jeff.
Yeah, the lads have been fantastic. I don't see why you would change it. Obviously disappointed for Ollie. He's been instrumental to get us where we are. The past 5-6 seasons, he's been unbelievable. But Tommy's been fantastic as well, and deserves to keep his place.
You look at the start today, and 9 games to go, or 8 games to go for Sheffield United, 7 for those teams immediately chasing them. Given the 6-point cushion we've got, Carl, 4 wins maybe from those remaining 8, that would be 18 points with only 21 for Middlesbrough and Luton to play for. Would 4 wins be enough?
I'm not sure. We were talking before more about how many times we have to lose. I've got a lot of belief, even if the team's not playing well, we're a hard team to beat. I think it's going to be hard for us to lose that many games, but we've got to take it, every team we're playing against, there's a point to prove. Today, the Wigan players, they've gone on a mini run. They've got a new manager in. They're fighting for their careers for next season. They're not going to be wanting to roll over, just come here and get a suntan on the Bramall Lane pitch. Every match is going to be hard. And, this week I've been a little frustrated reading that, we've only got there's no only about it. Each match, if you don't prepare, you can lose. So it's a tough match today. It's going to be hard, but I thoroughly believe we'll go on and win. But, let's just take each game as they come.
That is the danger, though, isn't it, Jack? Because everybody's talking about Burnley, and that's the game on Monday night. But this is the next game. This is the next challenge. And as Carl said, you speak to fans, they sort of seem to have looked past Wigan this week as Sheffield United are expected to win. You've got to still go out there and do the job.
No, I agree with Carl. Wigan are fighting for their lives. They need to stay in the division, and it's not going to be an easy game. And since the managers come in, they've only lost 3 times, so they're no mugs, and I think they're going to put up a tough fight today.
Absolutely. They've only lost 3 times since Sean Maloney took over as manager at Wigan Athletic this season, and they've got their own relegation battle ahead of them as well. A reminder that kickoff is at 3 o'clock, and wherever you are, you can watch unrivaled coverage of the game with us here on SUTV Live. For your match day pass and access to full uninterrupted coverage, go to the club's website, sufc.co.uk. Now, 7 days ago, it was a trip to Carrow Road, a tough-looking trip on paper, but a productive one for the Blades.
The race for Championship promotion restarts. United face a stern test here against the Canaries. In from Doyle, a better corner and a free header. Clanswine has collided with Marquinhos, headed on by McAtee. Cleared against their own player, and then Robinson fires into the side netting. In from Doyle. Good ball in. Header against the crossbar. Best chance of the game so far. And United and Anel Ahmedhodzic are denied by the woodwork. McAtee, is it going to open up for him? James McAtee, block in the end by Gibson. United come again through Doyle. There's a flag up here. Burn needs to hold it up, and he does. And the Blades are on the front foot with Lowe all of a sudden, and he's trying to thread it in for McAtee. And Jai will take over. Hillerman and Jai for United. Max Lowe takes a deflection and stabbed in by McAtee. James McAtee for the Blades. United are in front. A kind little deflection from Lowe's shot, and McAtee was on it quick as a flash, and the Blades lead by 1-0. Looking for Sharp. Advantage being played. He's not in the box for United though, as McAtee was felled. Sharp's going to go it alone. Sharp, wonderful effort. Cannoned off the post. And then the ball almost fell to Bollock. I think that clipped the outside of the post. Early cross. Fordingham's called it, and he's got it. Ahead of Sargent. Forget about his unbelievable ability, but you'd probably get in this side on work rate alone. It's that good. And here he is again. Going to hold the ball in the corner. Be a goal kick. A huge 3 points for Sheffield United in the race for automatic promotion. They've defeated Norwich City here at Carrow Road by 1-0, and as things stand have extended their lead over third place Middlesbrough to 6 points.
As you heard from our own Matt Young there, a huge 3 points gained on the road for the Blades. James McAtee's 6th goal of the campaign, securing the points, along with a clean sheet. Unsurprisingly then, when we caught up with George Baldock immediately afterwards, he was a happy man.
Really good, resolute, aggressive, front foot, just like us. Just the way we want to play, just the way Hecky teaches us how to play. And we made a good team, play not so great and limited them chances, so really pleased.
Whilst Sheffield United's dip in form prior to Sunderland was hardly extreme, but how much do you feel as though you are maybe a little more firing on all cylinders given the last 3 performances?
I think when we're at our best, we're a match for anyone, and that's what we've done. We've just gone back to basics. Like I said, been resolute, been aggressive. I think that's a massive part of games in this division. Being aggressive, being front foot, not letting good players play. Because if you do, you will get hurt. Whether it's from a set play, whether it's from a bit of magic, you've got to be aggressive in everything you're doing. And I think we've been that. We've been that in training, and we've been that recently in games as well. And results have been positive.
It feels as though, or rather a lot of fans will think, and look, no doubt media, it was a significant day given defeats elsewhere and Sheffield United's victory. What do you and the rest of the players think of that?
I was talking to Kev and everyone not so long ago when, we've lost a game and they've won and they're never going to lose another game and we're never going to win another game. So, there's twists and turns. We're delighted with the position we're in. We're in a good place within ourselves, and that's the most important thing. We take each game as it comes. And like I said, when we're at our best and we're aggressive, we're front foot, we've got star quality players in this division and even higher. So, I'm sure we'll get better and better. But, like I said, each game at a time, because as you know, we've been written off and then we've been, told we're getting promoted and all that. So, we're taking every game as it comes.
George Baldock giving us his thoughts following last weekend's win at Norwich City. Interesting, Carl, that he said, when we're at our best, we're on the front foot, we're aggressive. You were at the game, you were at Carrow Road doing commentary last weekend. That's what we saw in the main, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was I really enjoyed the performance because, people are saying, it wasn't a very good Norwich performance, but we didn't allow it, and when we are at our best, we close down, we work as a team, and I thought our defensive shape was brilliant. Everyone was working their socks off. We were hard to beat, and we created, and we didn't get into the third or fourth gear in our free-flowing football, but we still created 4 or 5 really good opportunities. We had some star performers in that. I thought Max Lowe was incredible. Defensively, he got everywhere, and the team just they look so confident, and the belief they have in one another that they're going to do their job. You close here and you give everything because the person behind you is doing the same, and it's not going to be wasted. And I thought it was a thoroughly excellent away performance. And the fans, I've got to mention, they were crazy. They were so loud. A
clean sheet, which we've already mentioned there, a 1-0 win on the road against a team that had shown signs of life. They're playing for a place in the playoffs themselves, Jack. What's that done for this group this week?
Massive to get a clean sheet away from home, but I always feel when I play against Norwich, they always give you chances, and I think the message was stay in the game and we will create chances, and you've seen it on the highlights, how many chances we've had, and we put one away and took the 3 points.
And what about James McAtee as well? Because when he arrived at the start of his loan spell at the back end of August, we knew he was a creative player, we knew that he was thought highly of by Pep over at Manchester City, but initially, I don't think I'm doing him a disservice, the physicality of the Championship seemed to be something that he needed to come to terms with fast. Well, he scored 3 of the last 6 goals that Sheffield United have scored. Well,
I think it was a bit unfortunate. I think everyone piled on the first performance away at Luton like he couldn't play football. It was crazy, the response. It was a very tough match that most players would have struggled in, and it's like we all felt, McAtee, mate, he's not ready. No, he's shown and he's grown, and he's been a standout player. But I think we've all got to just believe in the recruitment and the management team, because the players they're picking, they're right. They're not picking duds that aren't working. Every player now, you're getting Kieran Clark. You've got all these players, Doyle and McAtee. They're all part of the plan, and they fit the way we play so well. So McAtee, the manager wasn't gambling taking him. He will have known he's a proper player.
Yeah, and also going back to the Luton game, I think that's probably the hardest game to go into for your debut, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was early in the season. Luton were, they're buoyant, thinking that they beat us up the season before, and they came out on the front. So it didn't matter who was out there, and we were finding our form, our feet. New players knitting into a new way of playing, and it was just unfortunate.
It does speak volumes to his character as well, doesn't it? And Tommy Doyle, for that matter, the way that both of them have grown, both in stature and confidence, the longer this season has gone on. Yeah,
they've both been unbelievable. I look at Macher, and I think with a couple of more seasons under his belt, I really do believe he could play in the Premier League, especially for a top team as well.
Let's take a look then at the Championship table. Coming into today's games, remember there's a couple of lunchtime kickoffs. The one that really interests Sheffield United and our fans is that game between Millwall and Luton. Inside the final 10 minutes, still goalless between those two, which, from perspective, Millwall, I don't think it affects us to that much, but certainly for Luton, drop points there, Carl. Again, I know you don't like talking about games in hand, but 5 points back, played 2 games more, suddenly the chasing pack goes down to 1.
Of course it makes it more difficult for Luton to catch us, and momentum, as we keep saying, and Baldock alluded to there. If we lose a game, it's doom and gloom. We are never going to win. People check to see we can't get relegated. Them not being able to catch us is great, and it just takes a bit more pressure off us.
And worth noting as well from the Championship perspective as well, looking at that table, should Luton fail to beat Millwall this lunchtime, then victory for Burnley tonight at Middlesbrough would ensure that they are promoted back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. At the other end of the table, Jack, we didn't see it there, but Wigan rock bottom. They wouldn't be bottom if they hadn't been deducted 3 points earlier this season. They have to start winning, and they have to start now.
Yeah, obviously the deduction hasn't helped them, but I think they're going to come out fighting, like we said before, they've only lost 3 times under the new manager in the last 11 games, so it's going to be a tough game. They're going to come out fighting, and I think we need to match that fight and then let our quality take over.
I always thought these matches where you come into the end of the season and you're playing a team at the bottom, the first 15 minutes are massive because they are going to give everything. They're going to fight you for everything. If you can get a goal or 2 up, that's when they lose belief because they don't come back in many matches. But to get the initial goal, the first 15 minutes, the boys are going to have to work for every yard and every pass they get. So it's going to be a really intensive start.
Let's take a look at our form over the last 5 games in the Championship then. It was a bit hit and miss going into the international break, but that victory at Norwich last week means back-to-back wins now either side of the international break. 3 wins, 2 defeats. We've said this a few times, I think, this season, that Sheffield United having a bit of a blip. But every time that's been even mentioned or uttered, this team finds a way to bounce back. That's the character of this team this season.
And it's been like that since I've been at the club. I've said it many a times on this show. We don't really go 2 or 3 games getting beat. We always have a reaction. That's just the type of characters we've got in the dressing room, and I can't help but look at the Sunderland game. I thought that was a massive game. That win has really set us. Well,
that's the other thing, Carl, as well, isn't it? You look at the last time this team played at Bramall Lane, a 1-0 defeat to Luton. That's the only time in the Championship. Okay, I know we beat Blackburn in the FA Cup, but it's the only time in the Championship in the last 6 weeks that Sheffield United have played at home, and now we've got a run of 5 of the next 6 league games. All are going to be.
Yeah, and that game again is out of context because if you think now we know what went on, that they couldn't train at the right time and the facilities because of the snow stopped them training. It's the only time they've looked flat, and out of context it's like, well, okay, now you understand that there was factors that made that. I'm not expecting them to be flat today. There's so much to play for. So you have to have blips. Players can't play bang, bang, bang. Everyone's human and dropping form. I think what the manager's been able to do to get the best out of the players and pick who's in form has been incredible this season. And the people you got on the bench, Ollie Norwood, he's on the bench because the player in his position deserves to be there on form. So when Ollie gets back in the team, he's going to be flying. The competition at this club is brilliant.
Absolutely, and none more so than when you reach the business end of the season. That is where we're at. The games come thick and fast. 8 Championship games remain. There's an FA Cup semi-final as well. But if we look at the next 3 games that lie ahead for Sheffield United, starts this Monday night, away at Burnley, 8 p.m. kickoff there. We're on air from 7. And then a week today, we're back at Bramall Lane against Cardiff City. Midday, SUTV Live is on air for a lunchtime kickoff, 12:30 there. And then on Tuesday, the 18th of April, 7:45 kickoff at Bramall Lane for the visit of Bristol City. SUTV Live will be on air from 7 p.m. And a reminder, we've got just under 40 minutes to go to kick off here for Wigan Athletic this afternoon, and wherever you are you can watch unrivaled coverage of the game with us here on SUTV Live. To purchase your matchday pass, go to the club's website www.sufc.co.uk and you can purchase your access to today's game there. Now, we've got just under 2 months remaining of the season. It's been an entertaining one so far, full of spectacular goals for the Blades. It's the goal of the season competition. Take a look.
passing the board for the additional minutes. Back to Doyle out of his... World class! Absolutely world class strike from Tommy Doyle. 30 yards out, top corner that looks like it's sending Sheffield United to Wembley for a 5th FA Cup semi-final in 30 years. You will not see a better strike from that in the competition this year. Everyone is off the bench for the Blades. The fans have gone wild here at Bramall Lane. In the early stages of looking at him, and there's Njai, who will win the ball back in his own half. Needs some support with him. Really, Njai's going to go alone here. Can he round the last man to the edge of the area? Njai! Pick that out to the back of the onion bag. Won the ball in his own half. Beat 2 or 3 players. Takes his shirt off. Parades it in front of the cop end. And Iliman Njai has scored a goal similar to the one at Fulham last season. Potentially even better. What a start to the season for him. 2 on the game, 3 for the year, off the bench and staking his claim once again for a regular start. Will it be a strike at goal? It will be from Norwood, who whips it. What a goal that is! Stunning strike from Ollie Norwood, 25 yards out, 2 hands either side. He is hoisted into the air. We thought they were going to do something clever, but Ollie Norwood did do. He struck it, he was over the wall. Nothing that Thomas Kaminski could do. 31 minutes gone at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. Sheffield United leading by a goal to 0. The ball is bent in, chipped in right-footed, headed away by Bogle. Iliman Njai keeps it moving. Oh, a lovely shimmy. Swivel hips from James McAtee. He takes the ball, drives across halfway, sprinting up to the edge of the penalty area. Brilliant, brilliant goal from James McAtee. That is outstanding, and he celebrates the goal with a backward somersault in front of the Sheffield United fans. Well, from one end to the other, in no time at all, he body swerved beautifully to create space, to run all the way up the pitch, up to the edge of the penalty area, realised he could go himself, and buries the ball into the bottom corner. An outstanding goal from an outstanding youngster, and Sheffield United have a 2-goal cushion at the seaside. Blackpool 0, Blades 2. Robinson hacked at his cross, it's scuffed, and now Njai weaving his way in the penalty. Yes! Wow! Iliman Njai with a moment of FA Cup magic. The World Cup star off the bench to bob and weave inside the penalty area and score a quite spectacular goal to put Sheffield United within 11 minutes of a historic FA Cup victory against Premier League giant Spurs. Iliman Njai with a absolutely terrific moment, and it's Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Rising a ball that Norwood, McAtee and Lowe, the 2 10s, if you like, are Njai, all trying to provide service for Brewster, Berger in the deeper role.
What a pain from Norwood. That boy can play.
And yet was booed in the first half. There were 1 or 2 moans and groans when he gave the ball away. He's obviously the best in his position in the Championship, but he can't please everybody. Here is Norwood. Norwood up to the edge of the penalty area. Glorious step over Berger. Ball taken in, and Sheffield United have extended their lead, and it's Max Lowe with the tap end at the cop end. That is a gloriously crafted goal by Sheffield United, started by Oliver Norwood. The step over from Sander Berger allowed Ahmed Hodzic to ghost in. The ball was centred and Lowe couldn't miss. And believe it or not, that's his first goal for Sheffield United. And what a goal it was too as well. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, they lead Sunderland by 2 goals to 0.
Some fantastic strikes there, memorable moments, and the season still isn't finished. You can have your say and input onto the Goal of the Season competition by going to the club's YouTube site, click on the Goal of the Season link, and you'll see the description beneath the link. Click on that and you can cast your vote there. Jack O'Connell and Carla Saba, if you could have been a fly on the wall as those goals have been scored, listening to these two debate over which one was the best. Jack, you're closest to me, so I'm probably more threat than you if you get this wrong, so you can go first.
I'm going to go Tommy Doyle against Blackburn. I think, obviously, firstly, the actual strike was unbelievable. I think what was at stake and the timing of the goal.
Blackburn appeared a lot, unfortunately for them, in that montage. Carl, which goal did you prefer?
Yeah, I've got Illy at home to Blackburn. The fact that how far he's run, you know, people trying to take him out, and then when he got to the edge of the box, he didn't just slash at it. He did a measured in-step finish, which I thought was brilliant. Obviously, all those goals were incredible, but I just thought that one was, you know, a young lad, the composure he's shown to finish like that was incredible.
Obviously, it's good for us to have a Goal of the Season contender in competition. Do the players really care that much about it, Jack?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing they probably would. I think if you win it, you'd be over the moon. I don't think I've ever been in contention, so it's never really affected me. But yeah, I'm sure if you win it, you'd be happy.
What about you when you scored 20 goals this season?
As a striker, I want goal of the day in training. Forget goal of the season. You know, we were told about Billy Sharp wanting to score first in the new net. So as a striker, you want to score and you want to be. So of course, I'd be fuming if I didn't. You know, if I wasn't up for selection.
For the fans, certainly, it's great though, isn't it? You see 5 or 6 goals amongst the nominees there, but there's been times this season when it's felt like every time Sheffield United have the ball and are attacking, they could score at any moment. Yeah,
they've been unbelievable this season, especially at the top end of the pitch. You know, Illy's been a breath of fresh air, and since Mac has come into the team, he's been unbelievable as well. So I think our attacking play is real quality.
I remember at the start of the season, Carl, we looked at the squad Hecky had put together, and we talked about having options pretty much in every area of the field. Did we seriously think, though, that those options would gel in the manner they've done to create the spectacle we've seen week in and week?
Well, we didn't. We were unaware of how good Anel was going to be. Doyle would be a McAtee. We have complete faith in the recruitment because we've seen the players that have been brought in. But to think how well they did from November last year, they've taken it up a whole level, you know, and that's through hard work. You can't just be good. You have to work your socks off, and I think what's gone on at the training ground and the people, the characters that have come in, the way they've knitted together and they're driving each other on, I just hope the team gets the credit and the manager gets the credit of what they've done. It's been an incredible season, and they're playing great football.
That's the other crucial thing, though, there as well, isn't it? We started the season and Illiman and Ollie were scoring for fun, but various members of the team have stepped up when required. I mean, Anel scored not just some crucial goals, but some spectacular goals as well. They have come from pretty much every area.
Yeah, exactly that. And, you know, we laugh and joke about it. I think Anel's actually better in the opposition box than he is in his own box. He's that good at scoring goals. But, you know, we've been fantastic all over the pitch, getting goals from all over the pitch, yeah. It's
not bad either, is it, when you can have the club's top all-time scorer coming off the bench and just chipping in every now and again as well.
Yeah, no, the way he's played, even when he's not been scoring, you know, you look at his stats and you think, oh, he's a goal scorer. But the last couple of games, when he's come on and he's not scored, but the way he's affected the game and he's got us free kicks and he's held up the ball and he's calmed things down, he's a huge character. And you know what I feel, he needs to be part of the foundations here for forever now.
Well, Billy Sharp doesn't start on the bench today. He starts from the first whistle, and he was heavily involved when Wigan were the last time Sheffield United met Wigan at Wigan, a 2-1 win for the Blades.
2,000 plus Sheffield United fans in full voice as this championship encounter gets underway. First time ball and fields a good one for McAtee. It's half a yard for the cross. That was Billy Sharp with the effort on his 350th Sheffield United appearance. Into the path of Berger, who's motoring here. Illiman and Jai still going. Lovely feet, and Jai saved by the feet of Jones, and the follow-up is blocked too from Berger. Will be a corner, will it, here for Sheffield United, the first of the night? Norwood's out. Swingo! What a header that is! And it's John Egan, his first of the season. And Sheffield United hit the front through the Republic of Ireland international. Wonderful cross from Norwood, and Egan puts the Blades in front. Loose touch from Bennett. Quickly in is Sander Berger. Again, Sharp and Njai making their way into the penalty area. Might come to Njai here. Lovely feet. Can he get the shot away? He's got support. McAtee shot blocked. Lovely back heel from Sharp. James McAtee for United. And Wigan get the second half underway. How many times are we going to say it? Given away by Wigan deep inside their own half. Billy Sharp, can he punish them? Billy Sharp, of course he can punish them. Nets his second in as many games on his 350th Sheffield United appearance. Sheffield United have a 2-goal advantage at the DW Stadium. Here's Arsgaard, had that shot. McLean, dangerous ball in, and Fotheringham palms it to Broadhead, who taps home, and Wigan are back in the game. Nathan Broadhead, cool finish inside the 6-yard area, and United's 2-goal advantage has been whittled down to 1. It is Norwood, it's over the wall, and it's just over the bar. That's the 5 minutes. Straight to Ollie Norwood. He's just going to run it up the pitch now. Yeah. And there is the full-time whistle.
A 2-1 win for the Blades on the night, making it 3 wins on the bounce when they faced Wigan in recent times. We're just over 25 minutes away from kick-off here at Bramall Lane when they look to repeat the dose, gain 3 more points and make it 4 wins in a row over Wigan. And a reminder, of course, that if you want to see unrivaled coverage of Sheffield United versus Wigan, you can do so right here with us on SUTV Live. Go to the club's website, sufc.co.uk, and you can buy your match pass for this afternoon's game there. Still got Jack O'Connell and Carla Saber in the studio alongside me. I guess that game at Wigan really epitomised what we were talking about before we reviewed the highlights. Billy Sharp, John Egan on the score sheet, goals coming from different areas of the pitch.
More of the same today. I mean, fantastic result away from home, and the skipper on the score sheet at their place, hopefully he can do it again here.
Billy Sharp looking for a milestone, Carl.
Yeah, it was a strange night as well. I think it was Kolo Toure was unveiled that night, and it was, you know, this was the start of their revival. And that could have been a 6 or 7. You know, the boys were really unlucky. They kept going in waves and waves, and it just wasn't dropping. And then Billy, if you see the goal again, the footwork he did from taking the first touch, the way he was able to get his feet in order to drive it, it was just brilliant. You know, strikers, something to watch. I'm sat there purring, thinking, what? And you know, people think it's a straightforward goal, but the footwork he did to open himself out was brilliant. And you know, it was just a really good performance.
That's the other thing that we'll touch upon shortly, that Wigan Athletic, part of their problems this season, no doubt come from the fact they're on their 3rd managerial appointment of the season in the form of Sean Maloney. Now, we'll take a look at their starting 11 for today's game shortly. First of all, a recap of your starting 11 for Sheffield United. 2 changes from the team that won at Carrow Road last week. Jayden Bogle comes into the side for Max Lowe, who's suffering with an illness. Billy Sharp returns to the lineup. Ollie McBurney dropped down to the bench, Carl.
Yeah. For me, it's a great team, great lineup. But another thing with Wigan is they don't play in front of a huge crowd. The players will be loving playing here. You know, the atmosphere. It's a good thing. So expect them to really be starting really fast. But a really nice, solid lineup we got there.
Yeah, building on that, Carl, as well. Wigan haven't won away from home since October. Well, you're going to have a big crowd today. There's going to be a big atmosphere. The pressure is on them every bit as much as Sheffield United. We often talk about using this place as an advantage. You get that early goal given the pressure they're under right now, it could make for a much more relaxed day for the Blades.
Yeah, it's key, and we always say when we're in the changing room, you've got to start fast, especially at home, and put them on the back foot and make sure that, you know, they're in for a tough day at the office. And you know, it's going to be tough, but I think if we start fast and get the early goal, I think that'll be key.
Let's take a closer look then at Wigan Athletic and their recent form, because whilst not setting the world alight, it has improved under Sean Maloney. 2 defeats, 2 draws and a win there, but unbeaten in 3, Carl. You were talking earlier to us about how it irritated you a little bit that the fans were, in some respects, overlooking Wigan today. That suggests that this could be potentially a trickier match than many might feel.
Well, yeah, of course they're fighting for their lives, and they're trying to justify being kept on for next season to a new manager. And it is, you know, they're drawing, they're not conceding a lot, they're showing they've got resilience, so it's not going to be easy. And again, this atmosphere, the fans have just experienced such highs, beating Tottenham, beating Blackburn in the Cup. We hope if we're not scoring after 10-15 minutes, I hope the fans can keep the energy up and not get all depressed and on the players, because it does transmit, and the energy in this stadium is a huge factor on players' performances.
They played 11 games under Sean Maloney, only 2 wins, 6 draws, 3 defeats. It suggests, if nothing else, he's managed to instill a steelness about them.
Yeah, they've definitely improved. I mean, even the games they've lost, they've not lost by big margins, apart from obviously the Burnley game, which can happen to anyone, but they've definitely improved. They've got a lot of experience in the team with James McLean and Max Power, so, you know, they've got players who've been around the block and they've played here before as well.
What do you expect from them? Do you think they'll try and park the bus, or do you think they'll have a go, Carl?
Well, what's difficult, I think you have to have a go against us. That's your best chance, because if you set up to defend, we can score, as we've shown, we can score from so many different variants and angles and different players. Then you don't know. You can set up and think, okay, we're going to stop NJ running in behind. Someone will shoot from 30 yards in front. If you're going to we're going to play a high line, you've got McAtee and NJ running in behind. So it's hard to park the bus against us. I think the players are full of confidence. If they park the bus, they'll get whooped 3-0. They've got to go toe-to-toe and hope that... No, I do.
You've got to love that confidence, haven't you?
If they come out, they could get whooped 3-0
yeah.
as well. It's tough.
It's tough. I am expecting them to get whooped 3-0,
Yeah.
I won't lie.
But is that not what the situation at this stage of the season dictates, that you can't have... I mean, I remember Blackburn coming here at the start of the season.
Well, I don't think a draw is going to help Wigan much, is it? They need to come and try and beat us.
I think the first 15 minutes, they need to take the sting out the game.
Yeah.
They need to quiet the crowd, and obviously that's not what we want, but I think...
Is there a danger, if they are able to do that, that big crowd, expectant crowd, an air of unease begins to creep in? Or do you think everybody's patient enough and has seen enough now to stick with this team and know that at some point
there'll be frustration, won't there? But I think the players are the ones, you know, our players know they can score in the 94th minute, and they're not going to change the philosophy. They're not going to be hurried out of it or lose, oh God, we've got to start being erratic and shooting earlier. I think it's a tough one for Wigan. If they start play acting, you know, our fans are going to get on top of them and get on the rep. I feel for them. I feel for them. I really feel for them. Just have a go. Have a go, and if you win, great, we'll clap you. And if you have a go, I expect you to get beaten. So, sorry, Wigan.
I should take this opportunity to tell you that it's finished goalless down at the New Den between Millwall and Luton, which is obviously great news for the Blades. Certainly, great news for Burnley if they can get a win tonight.
Yeah, massive, and it does. It takes a bit of the momentum out of Luton. You know, they were looking really good. It takes the sting out of them a bit, and it just means this match is even more vital. You know, we get another 3 points here today, and then it really does. It makes it tough for them, knowing they've got to go on a run of 3 game wins just to catch up with us. It's a big one today.
Okay, let's take a look at the team that Sean Maloney has selected for Wigan Athletic to start against Sheffield United this afternoon. Just the one change from the team that beat Queen's Park Rangers last time out. It comes in what we expect to be a front 3. Sanani makes way for Asgard. Interestingly, though, top scorer, experienced Will Keane. He has 10 goals to his name this season, the only player for Wigan that's in double figures, but he's on the bench, Jack.
Very surprised. I mean, they're fighting for their lives. You want your top goal scorer on the pitch. I'm not sure what formation they're going to try and set up or how they're going to play, but I think that's a strange decision personally.
Yeah, I was surprised as well. And there's not, you know, the team that we played down there, it's not far from that team, and you know, they're going to have to put in a completely different performance to the one they did there. So intrigued to see how, you know, just to see how managers think they can beat us and how they set up about us, because this season you've seen teams sit and you've seen teams come at us, and just want to see what this manager thinks the best way to contain us is.
We're told to expect them to shape up in a 3-4-3 formation with the 2 wide front players dropping back to really make it a congested midfield. That's what you'd expect from a team away from home, isn't it?
I think so, and I think not playing Will Keane and playing Ashley Fletcher up front, I think they'll sit back and try and use Ashley Fletcher on the counter attack and try and, like we said, take the sting out the game, quiet the crowd, but still very, very strange decision. Don't know if it's a curveball he's trying to throw in, but hopefully our lads will just suss them out. Absolutely.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the players we've chosen from the Wigan team to potentially watch out for that could cause us problems. One name that jumps out there is the experienced veteran presence of James McLean. He's played at Stoke City, played up at Sunderland. He's still Republic of Ireland international, keeps going.
It jumped out at you. I'm going to have to up the prescription. I can't see anything. I can just see faces. Yeah, no, he's a very experienced player. For me, I've said it every week whenever I meet, it's about us. You know, full respect to them, but it's about our players not taking the opposition for granted and focusing and playing as they've done and committed themselves all through the season. I
know you mentioned you're surprised, Jack, at Will Keane only starting on the bench. Ashley Fletcher does start, obviously formerly Manchester United, Middlesbrough. I think he signed a 5-year deal at Watford at one point. I was amazed to hear he's still only 27.
Yeah, same. Younger than me, can't believe it. But I think he's a good player. I think he's athletic. I think he'll obviously time running behind our centre halves and down the sides. And you know, he's obviously a threat, but hopefully he'll keep him in his back pocket.
I suppose if nothing else, it does give Sean Maloney the option, Carl, if things aren't going Wigan's way, or even if it's still tight late on and he wants to press for a goal, to throw Will Keane on and give them more attacking options.
Yeah, of course, they've got options on the bench, but I'd point to our options on the bench. That's their options. We'll outdo them with our options. I think we beat them. We beat them. The squad beats them, and if the players aren't playing, we've got better options as well. So I'm fully expecting us to put on a high energy performance, and people, you know, the boys are going to be wanting to play against Burnley. They're going to be working their socks off to play against Burnley. They're going to want to win this in front of their home fans, and then they're going to want to be playing in the showcase match against Burnley, because the Burnley match, if you can beat, I know I always say focus on the game in hand, but the game against Burnley, to actually try and beat Burnley twice in the season when they've marched against the rest of the division would be a real good statement for the boys.
I've got to say, I need to have some of whatever you've been taking. I'm loving your confidence.
I'm always confident. I'm always confident.
Need some of this.
No, I've watched these all season. If you can't be confident watching this Blades team, God, you ought to go and watch me when I played for Brentford. Then you didn't know what were you going to get.
I watched when you played for Sheffield United a few times.
That's true, exactly. So you should be revelling in the fact you've progressed to this great team.
Well, let's talk about a goal scorer then, shall we? Okay. Because James McAtee was on the score sheet last week against Norwich, his 6th of the season, and we caught up with him ahead of today's game.
I think every game from now to the end of the season is massive, but obviously we're focusing on the next one. We're working on stuff to do today in training, so yeah, I think every game's as big as the rest.
How important is it that you don't take Wigan lightly?
Yeah, the gaffer said this morning that they've lost 2 games under the new manager, so we have to take them seriously, and it'll definitely be a good game.
You've obviously played a lot for Sheffield United this season, but just as a kind of a side narrative, it seemed as though you and Tommy have helped this team kind of crack on Sunderland onwards, I suppose, just in the way it's happened. Does it feel like that?
I don't feel like it's just me and Tommy, but I think definitely me and Tommy have found form from Sunderland. Tommy especially has been playing amazing, so yeah, we're trying our best to help the team, and we want to get promoted, so it's our main focus.
Just give us an idea of what it's like to be part of this, knowing full well that promotion to the Premier League, you are part of a squad for whom it is in their own hands.
Yeah, that's the reason I came to Sheffield United. I said it before I joined. I wanted to fight for promotion, so to be doing that now and getting these games, and I'm not going to have an experience like this maybe never again in my career. I don't know, so yeah, it's a good feeling, and I'm up for it.
The thoughts of James McAtee ahead of this afternoon's match against Wigan Athletic. Speaking of which, we've got a little under 15 minutes to go to kick off, and you can watch every kick of this game live with us on SUTV Live. All you need to do is purchase your match pass for the day, and you can do that by going to the club website, sufc.co.uk. On James McAtee, fellas, we've already spoken about his growth in stature on and off the field. Just looking at some of the highlights, there's some of the goals that he's scored. They're a variety. He's close in, he's shown composure, he's finished when he hasn't really had time to think, and he's created goals as well. He's everything that Paul Heckingbottom would have hoped for.
Yeah, he plays going forward, doesn't he? He plays forward, he doesn't shirk the difficult opportunity. He sees every pass and he tries it, and with the quality he's got, more invariably than not, he makes it work, and he's a joy to watch.
I remember him joining us up here in the studio following a midweek game. I think it was in in September. He's fairly quiet. He seems to have come out of himself a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. When he first joined, he was really in his shell, and I think obviously playing games and in respect of the lads, he's really come out, and I think he's class.
And they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. That the fact that he is now commanding a place in the starting 11, all credit to him and Tommy Doyle for that matter. They have forced their way into the starting 11. And Paul Heckingbottom spoke at the start of the season about every position having competition. Well done, fellas. You deserve a round of applause for that, don't you?
Yeah, brilliant. And the lone players, it's not easy coming into a situation where you've got a group of pros who know each other, and especially coming from Man City, you worry, is a character going to be we're better than the rest, and they haven't had it easy. McAtee hasn't just walked in and been given his position, and whether he plays well or plays bad, he gets the position. It hasn't been like that. He started, he got dropped, and then he's shown the courage and the determination to just get his way and fight his way back in. And as you say, he's there on merit. He's holding his position down.
And let's be honest as well, Jack, it doesn't always go that way. Remember, Redekadra came here on loan at the start of the season and ended up going back and out to Swansea, I think it was, in the end. So when you're that young and, people say, oh, well, Man City, different breed coming down to Sheffield United, you do have to show a bit about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think Ollie McBurney's got to take a bit of credit for that. He took him under his wing. He brought him out of his shell, and you can see it now paying off.
Okay, Carl, we're going to let you go to take up your position in the commentary box. I don't even know why I'm asking this question, quite frankly, given the optimism we've heard from you, but how do you see it going?
I think it's going to be hard first 10-15 minutes, and I think we'll go on and win by clear 3 goals, and I just hope we get to see. Sorry, why the snigger? I mean it. No disrespect to Wigan, but we're really good, thank you. And we got Billy. I'm hoping to see Billy get his 250th. So no, don't snigger anymore. We're a good team. At least 3.
No doubt.
Thank you.
There we go. Carl Saba. We'll chat again soon. Let's hear from the manager, Paul Heckingbottom. I'm sure he's confident, but he always manages to temper that as well. He knows today's game is no walkover.
I'm looking at them since Sean's gone in. Again, our message to everyone who's going to be at the game, the players, our staff, when I'm speaking, they've lost 2 games since Sean's gone in, and one of them, they had a man sent off against Burnley. They've only lost 1 other game besides that. Big results on the road, whether that's been points, few big wins. So, yeah, right now, I'm looking at them thinking they're a team that are playing above bottom of the league. Why? Because I see a real good energy and a spirit about them, and I see a bravery to get on the ball and pass it. And so, yeah, we're under no illusions that we're going to have to perform to get the result that we want. We're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to make sure we've got Bramall Lane as it should be to help us get 3 points.
Because ultimately it's not as if their season is over. I mean, the relegation battle is exceptionally tight, isn't it? So despite being bottom, they've still got everything to play for.
Everything to play for, and like I said, yeah, they've had the troubles off the pitch, things that's gone against them, but they're playing at the minute with a spirit and maybe a nothing to lose attitude. But it's evident when I'm watching them play. So we're going to have to match that work rate, if not better it, We're going to have to play with even more bravery than them for us to get on the ball and play quick and try and dominate with and without the ball. It's going to be, we're up against a team that's fighting. And like I said, this stage of the season, everyone is top, bottom. If you're fighting, if you're playing with that edge and energy, it makes it tough.
Paul Heckingbottom ahead of today's game against Wigan Athletic. We are just under 9 minutes away from kick-off. Luton Town have already dropped points at Millwall today. Middlesbrough, of course, host the league leaders, Burnley, tonight. But all you can do is take care of your own business, Jack O'Connell, and that starts with Wigan here this afternoon.
Yeah, and this is as a player, this is the games you want to play in, business end of the season, in front of the packed crowd, and my message, go and enjoy it, go and enjoy yourselves. Yeah, great atmosphere building up behind us. You might be able to see in the distance there the Wigan end rather. They haven't sold their allocation, but every ticket allocated to a Blade fan has gone for this Good Friday game. A big matchup, much on the line, and of course we talk about Middlesbrough trying to chase down the Blades for that final automatic promotion spot. If we win here this afternoon, knowing that they've got to play Burnley tonight, that puts the pressure right back on them. Yeah, of course, and I even seen some of the lads in our changing room. Why can't we catch Burnley? We win today, Burnley lose, and then we go and beat Burnley. Why can't we catch them? So I think we just need to keep looking forward, to be honest.
That's why we always say the holiday period, the Easter period, is so pivotal in determining the way league campaigns go, isn't it? Because like you say, if results go our way over the next 72 hours, we're back here next week with Sheffield United having the lunchtime kick-off, and it's a different ball game again.
Yeah, and you know, these little farm margins are key. We'll have more rest in Burnley and stuff like that, but I love playing on the Easter period because you quick succession of games, quick turnover, and you just roll right into the next game. What
are your memories when you go back to that season several years ago now, when you won promotion to the Premier League? What are your memories of the Easter period and the momentum that your side under Chris Wilder built?
Yeah, I always feel, that's why I like it so much. I feel like the weather's changing, it's hot, the fans are in a good mood. So I think today's the same, just get the win and we roll into Monday.
Well, as you can see behind us, the sun is out. This playing surface looks like an absolute picture. The PA system is going at full tilt as well. We've got a little over 6 minutes to kick off at Bramall Lane. And a reminder, as you can see there at the bottom of your screen, to watch unrivaled coverage every kick of this game. You can do so right here with us on SUTV Live. Just go to the club's website, sufc.co.uk, and you can purchase your match pass there. Paul Heckingbottom's final words to the team, what are they right now?
I think he's going to say go and enjoy it. You've worked so hard during the season to get to this position, and just go and enjoy it.
Do you think they'll be aware of what's happened between Millwall and Luton?
Definitely.
Will it have been mentioned?
Yeah, I think they would have watched the scores come in on the TV in the dressing room, and you know, if that gives them a bit of extra motivation, so be it.
Is it, we talk about it all the time, is it as easy as saying, right, forget everything else now, forget the noise, because there's been a lot of that around this week over permutations, what could happen, what might happen, put it all to one side, park it. Is it as easy as saying that, go out there and get the win?
As soon as you walk down the tunnel, it's full focus. You want to win a game of football, doesn't matter the circumstances outside of. As soon as you walk out onto that grass, you just want to win.
And knowing that this is the start of a run where we're going to have 5 of the next 6 league games here at Bramall Lane as well, if you want to say the stars are aligning for Sheffield United, given how impressive our form has been at home this season, it couldn't be much better.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've definitely got a good run in and playing most of our games at home, so hopefully the fans can get behind us and push us over the line.
Do you feel there's an air of expectation about this place now?
Yeah, of course, because of what happened when we got promoted last time, but that comes with the territory of being a professional footballer and trying to get to the Premier League, and the lads will deal with it fine.
And I guess we're seeing the strength of this squad that Paul Heckingbottom's put together as well, because we've had injuries to deal with this season, make no mistake about it, and yet you feel that, with the exception of Max Lowe perhaps today, he's been able to pick the strongest 11 as he would see it.
Yeah, I think the team at the minute speaks for itself. Obviously the skipper coming in and giving Ollie McBurney a rest, but obviously the big blow is Lowe, but I'm sure George will be fine there.
And how do we start this game? I mean, Carlos Saba talks about it being a tight opening 15 minutes. Do we play it cagey from the start, or do you just go full tilt and try and get that early goal?
I think you go full tilt. You've got nothing to lose really. You're at home in front of a packed crowd. Just go and enjoy it and you know, take the game to them.
Great pictures here from Bramall Lane, sun-drenched here in South Yorkshire, and potentially a big day as well for the club captain Billy Sharp, because he's looking to net his 250th goal, which in anybody's books is a huge landmark.
Fantastic achievement, the best goal scorer I've played with, obviously. Even every day in training wants to win, even if we're doing quizzes and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully Bill gets on the score sheet.
Final thoughts, prediction for today's game?
2-0 Blades.
2-0 Blades. Carlos Saba, if you were with us a little bit earlier, said it would be by at least 3. There is plenty of confidence in this studio, plenty of confidence and expectation around Bramall Lane as well. Will it be a good Friday? Let's find out. Let's hand you over to the commentary team as we take on Wigan Athletic in a moment. You'll hear from Carlos Saba, but as always, it's Matt Young.
Thank you, Richard. Two sides in need of points for very different reasons as United begin the Easter doubleheader. The showdown against Sean Maloney's Wigan. 2 games in very quick succession. Potential for movement within the Championship standings as United look to boost their automatic promotion credentials, whilst the Latics aim to strengthen their survival bid. Wigan may be propping up the league, but they're unbeaten in 3. Paul Heckingbottom acutely aware of the threat as United go and seek a 4th straight win in all competitions. A reminder that if you want to watch the game this afternoon, all the broadcasting regulations are available at www.sufc.co.uk. Click on there and find out whether you can watch what could be a very good Friday for Sheffield United, Carlos.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screen now and see the big shadow. I'm hoping not much of the ball's going to go in the shadow because I can't see anything going on in there. But no, a huge match, great turnout. I'm really excited to watch this one.
The Easter doubleheader, the sun's out. It's a full house at Bramall Lane, as you can see, as the two teams enter the field of play. Going back to a new plate here on these occasions, I'd imagine there's nothing better.
Oh, it's incredible, you know. And the thing is, you're on the cusp. The boys are on, and the fans are right with you, cheering you on, desperate for you to get over the line. It's really, I'm so envious of these players.
And as we've said many times, Easter weekend, things can change very quickly. Do you get that feeling as a player going into it?
I loved Easter weekend just because it's such a quick turnaround. And this, look on paper, you've got the total contrast. You've got the bottom of the league, and then you're going away to the top of the league. And what a way to just show what a good player you are. Acquit yourself the same against both sets of teams.
It's worth mentioning, 20 years ago, you were involved in a Sheffield United side that was managing a FA Cup run and a concerted effort at getting promotion. What's it like, and can you use the cup run as a momentum, or does it get in the way? How does it feel for you?
Definitely a momentum. Once you get so far, as I said a couple of rounds ago, I choose the league, but now you've got the FA Cup semi-final to play for. These boys are wanting to obviously win this, but you're trying to cement your position for the cup semi-final. It's a huge motivator, and I just hope no one picks up an injury. But they're you know, it's really good. The difference in this promotion push is these guys are second. We were in the pack chasing. And you know, they've just been so good, and I'm just so proud of how they've acquitted themselves week in, week out.
And playing first before, well, I say playing first, Luton have already played, of course, but playing ahead of Middlesbrough, how would that suit you as a player?
Yeah, you've got complete belief in yourselves, and you know, you pot this one, another victory, if you can get this victory, the pressure on Middlesbrough, they can't slip up. You know, you're being told you must win before you even get on the pitch. It's a real hard situation for Middlesbrough, but you know, our players deserve this. They've done this on merit, and they deserve to be putting the pressure on Middlesbrough.
And a reminder of that game earlier, Luton Town and Millwall finished goalless. Middlesbrough in action tonight, the late kick-off against Burnley, and Burnley are United's opponents on Bank Holiday Monday. Well, it may be sun-drenched on the pitch itself, but Paul Heckingbottom there stood in the shadows in his winter coat. There is your referee for the afternoon for the first time this season in a Sheffield United game. Andy Davis is the referee. Pre-match formalities for Sheffield United. John Egan leading the conversation with Billy Sharp in that huddle, no doubt. Huge game for Wigan as well. Despite their 3-point deduction, they're still very much in touch with the other sides around them in the table, and off the back of Max Power's winner last time out against Queen's Park Rangers, they'll be in decent form as well.
It's going to be really tough. You know, the first 15 minutes, both myself and Jack, we're expecting this to be really tough. And despite their lowly league position, they're not going to be any pushovers. But as I said, I completely believe in our boys.
Leighton Vedder-White kicking towards the cup in the first half, looking to extend their advantage in the race for promotion. And a reminder, head to sufc.co.uk for the broadcast regulations and match pass information on this afternoon's game.
Yeah, so Jack was right.